Right. I think. So do you have any doubts on yesterday's class? Yesterday we discussed form fields, right? Form imports. So then check boxes, radio buttons, and select boxes, data list, and then file upload, then range, in range min and max steps. Up to here we discussed it, right? So the next one is the floating labels. Floating labels. So how we can add the floating label? So we can see. So where is, so here it is. I'm creating this, right? So nothing is there. Copy and 71.html. Okay. So this, here it is. So then, so removing all. Okay. So this is one input. So then, okay. So container div is closed here. So we are checking the floating labels. So normal input as usual. Normal input as usual. So then we are checking HTML 70.html, right? 71. Yes. So this is a checkbox. So first we can create. So this, so we can check with the input type text only. So floating, only input box is having the floating label. Okay. So then name. So then value nothing. Okay. So then form icon control. So this is the normal input. So then label form icon label. So then name we have to give name. Okay. So in generally, so we can add the name first, right? So in generally, we can add the name first. Okay, this is my input. Okay, so I want to add the label. I want to add the label inside of this one. So placeholder is different and floating labels is different. Okay, so placeholder, enter your name. Okay, so this is a placeholder. So instead of placeholder, whatever name here we are having, I want to display inside of this one. Inside of, so this one. Okay, so then how we can check? See now, so I am adding, so this floating label after input, So then for this div, I am adding a class called form hyphen class equal to form hyphen floating. Okay, form hyphen floating. So remaining things as usual. Now you can see this is the name. So when we hover on mouse, so this name can move to the top. So this is the, these type of things are called the floating labels. Okay, so these type of things are called the floating labels. Okay, so then, so same thing we can add form hyphen control hyphen lg. Okay, so then next one is form hyphen control hyphen sm. So this is sm. Okay, so three different type of, see, did we get any change for this one? So nothing, right? So there is, we cannot use those things So whatever LG screen, session screen, the type of things, whatever we are having, so we cannot use. So if we want same type of thing, so we have to use the normal form control, or otherwise, so we can decrease the height using this one. See here. So for this one, we are having the, for this one, we are having the height. So it's a fixed height. Okay. It's a fixed height. Okay. So then, so we have to stop this one. Okay. Clear. So this way we can. So if you want to apply the custom style sheet, then we can apply the, so padding, or we want to decrease the padding 10 pixel. So floating label is having padding. So then floating label padding 10 pixel. Okay. Chala. So important. Then here, then line height also we are having line height 20 pixel. Height 30 pixel. So this way we can override those default Bootstrap CSS. Okay. So we have to create a custom class. So then we can decrease the height of that one. Okay. So this way we can decrease it. Okay. So these type of things are called the floating labels. For suppose if you are already having a value, for suppose, so someone is already having a value. So then, so for this one, it's a live tracks. So this way we are having, see. So this one we are already having. So this way it will appear. Okay. So if this one is disabled or read only, so then can apply for this one disabled, and for this one read only. Okay. Now you can see it. Okay. I cannot enter anything for this one. So even I am not highlighting this. Okay. So these are the floating labels for text area. For text area, how we can create. For text area also same thing. So just text area. Okay. So then where is this one? Type is not required. Name is message and class and same thing. So we can use it. Enter message. Message. So this way, what happened? Message and text area. Okay, text area we are closing now. We can give some spacing. Empty 5. Empty 5. Empty means margin top. Okay, so this is the text area. Here. So the next one is select box we are having, right? Select box also we are having. Whereas this one is select box. So the same thing we are copying. So here select. Okay, inside we are having a options, option, option, option 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Class equal to format and control. Okay. Now you can see. So this is the select box. For this one also we can use the empty-5. So then here you can see. So by default, first option is selected, right? First option is selected. Okay. So then where is this one? Where is this? Select box. Okay. So for suppose by default, if you want to show some automatic option, so then we have to use the selected. We have to use the attribute called selected. Now option 3 is selected. Okay. So this is the way we can create the select box. So basically form hyphen select is the for select box. Okay. So this is the one. Okay. So 3 we are used option 3 we are used the attribute called selected. So by default option 3 is selected. Okay. Then so this is the way. So we can this is the way we can add the floating labels. Okay, just we are using as usual normal how we can add the form. So just we have to create a div and then we have to add this class form hyphen floating. Okay, so the next one is after floating label. So we are having a layout system grid layout. So in this we are having the so different two type of labels. One is normal layout, another one is complex layout. One is normal layout and another one is complex layout. Okay, so then so we can use same thing. So 72.html. So first we can create the grid layout. First we can create the grid layout. Okay. Clear this form. Okay. Clear this form. Okay. Then now I am creating the first one. I want label. All right. So the label. Okay. So inside label first name. First name. So then for this one input type equal to text. So then name equal to okay, name equal to f name and so then value equal to empty and placeholder equal to enter enter first name. Okay. All right. So then close this. For this one we have to use the class called class equal to form hyphen control. Okay. Form hyphen control. Okay. So the above we have to use the div class equal to closing this div. Okay. So this is the div and for this one I'm giving the col hyphen lg hyphen 6. So whenever we are using these columns, so compulsory we have to use div class equal to a row we have to use. Okay. So this div is closed here. Okay. So this okay. So now you can see 72.html. Okay. So what happened? So happening input is closed, then row, label, and I think something we are writing for div call, we are writing some CSS to write some CSS. So I removed that one. Okay. So this is the normal. Okay. For suppose in one row, so if we want to apply the two columns, so then same thing, we can do it like this. This is a grid layout. Last name, enter, enter, last name. Okay. Now you can see. So this way we can create. For suppose another two columns we want to add in another row. So then this is the email, email, enter email, phone. So then this one is the tel. Okay. So this is the phone. So this is email and enter email. Okay. So this way we can create the grid layout. Okay. Enter phone. Okay. Okay. So email and phone number. Same way we can add the checkboxes and radio buttons also. Same way we can add the checkboxes and radio buttons also. So in this, so we can create the gender, input type, radio. So then name equal to gender. So then value equal to male. So then, so not required for this one. So for this one, form hyphen check hyphen control, right? Control. Okay. So then same thing. We can create gender, female, and others. Okay. So this way we can create the different male. Okay. So then if you want to apply this one is the second line, class equal to label. So for all the things, we can create the label. Okay. So if you want to run another BR or otherwise, you can use the one div. Okay. So this way we can apply. So why it is not appearing form icon, check icon, this one, form icon. control icon check is a class for this one. From icon check icon input, sorry, not control, input. 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 Okay, so this one. And also same thing, so we can create the check boxes also. Okay, hobby 1 and hobby 2, so then hobby 3. Okay, so then games and movies and array. So this way we can enter the hobbies. Okay, here it is. So this way we can apply it. Here TV is closed and here also div is closed. So this way we can add the grid system. Okay. So the next one is the complex layout. So we don't know how many elements are there. For suppose in one row we can apply the 3 columns. In one row we have to place 2 columns. Okay. So for that type of things we are calling the complex layout. So for that one, same container I am copying. Yes, copied. So then same is applied. So but for this one, I don't want to use. So just I am creating just a call. Okay. So for suppose in the first row, you want to place two inputs. So then you can use it. Second row, you want to use 2 inputs, then you can use it. Okay. So these type of things are called the complex layouts. Okay. These type of things are called the complex layouts. So those are the things here we are having. Okay, so grid system, complex layout. So then horizontal form labeling. Horizontal form labeling. So horizontal form labeling means label is one side and label is one side and another side is the right side is the input. Okay, right side is the input. So we can place like this also. So same thing we can copy. Thing we are copying. So removing this row. This row. So then, so label is so in one row. So for this one, label is class equal to col hyphen so md hyphen 2 or 3. So then for input, so we can use the for input we can use the col hyphen so then md hyphen 6, sorry not 6, so that is 3 we are using, right? So that is remaining thing is 9. Okay, so same thing, so we can apply it. So for this one also class equal to so this what happened. Okay, so this is called, right? So that's why it is not applying. So then we have to apply the row inside of this one. So this is one other row. Okay, now you can see it. What happened? This is a label. Then my input is 100 pixels. So then we can apply like this div class equal to col hyphen md hyphen 3. So we have to close the div here. So then after that, so not required. So this is form hyphen label. Okay. So this one, this is another div, and we have to close the div here. Okay. So this div is the form hyphen md hyphen 9. Okay. So 3 and 9. So then row is closed. Okay. So then not required this row. So then same thing, you can copy it. Okay. So then remaining, you can remove it. Now you can see. Okay. So one is form. So another one is, so one side is label and another side is, so this one. Clear. So this is the way we can create it. Okay. So these are the things. For suppose if you want to give the some spacings for this one, so you have to give like this and B2. So for this one also we can give it for each and every row, we can give MB2 for creating this space. Okay, MB means margin bottom. Okay, clear? So this is the way we can apply the form, horizontal labeling. Okay, so the next one is the column sizing we already discussed. Column sizing we already discussed. So same thing, same container. If you want to place, so instead of this one, instead of this row, row is there, right? Where is this one? Yes. So this is the column sizing. We can add any number of things. So when we create another one, it is automatically and decrease that way. Okay. So 4. So if you want to place the 6, so we can place a 6. Okay. So that is the column sizing. Next one, here if you can see this one, here if you can see, this is the grouping, form or grouping. But instead of label, so we can use the class called form group text. Now you can see. So this is applied like this. Okay. So if you want to apply the side by side, so we have to use the div. It's not fun. Okay, we have to use this group for therefore we have to create another div class equal to input group. So then Okay, so this way, this type of things also we can create. Okay, so for this one, so if you want to enter whatever text, for suppose email is like this, so then we can create a email. Then enter your email. Okay, so here label, so the disturbance, design disturbance is happening because of, so the label is up, for this one label is grouped to the input. So if we can use same thing, so then these things will get same line. So the input group, sorry, it is not closed here, and this column in this is first. Now fine. Okay, so this way we can create the grouping labels. Okay, labels attaching with the inputs, labels attaching to the inputs. Okay, so these are the form design elements. Okay, so till now we discussed form controls, then select boxes, and the next one is the radio buttons and checkboxes we discussed. Range we discussed. In range we discussed. In range we discussed. We used the min and max attributes and step attribute also we discussed. Right. So in the checkboxes and radio buttons we created a switches also, switch boxes also. Okay. So the next one is floating labels we discussed. Okay, so then layouts we discuss, validation we have to discuss. Okay, validation we have to discuss. So in the input form controls, so we applied the form control for, so input boxes, so then select boxes, so then options boxes. Okay, so these things also we discussed. So I gave you all these examples one by one with the clear headings. Okay, so you can practice, for practicing purpose. I gave you all these things for clear. Okay, all the examples. Okay, so the next one is the input grouping is having last. So the next one is the form validation. So why we are using the form validations, Bootstrap form validations, not a Bootstrap form validation. So basically, why we can use the form validations. Okay, so HTML form validations is applied via CSS to the pseudo classes, invalid and valid. So we can apply the two classes, invalid and valid. So if the input is doesn't have any inputs or any data, so we can add dynamically. So our JavaScript, Bootstrap JavaScript widget, it's automatically adds the invalid class. So if it is having the data, so then it is adding the valid class. So where we can apply these validations, Bootstrap validation for input, for select box, for text area, for radio buttons, for checkboxes. Okay, so all these input elements we can add the validation. So then Bootstrap scope, the invalid valid style two parent. So was validated class we have to create. So either was validator or whatever it may be, our own class also we can add it. Okay, so then otherwise any required field without a value shows up the invalid when we page load. Okay, so if the data is having, so it can add in the valid class. Okay, so this way we can add the form validation, Bootstrap form validation. So basically, why we have to validate the form? For suppose we are having a form, we are having a form. So here I have a contact form. Here I have a contact form. For suppose, so without entering any data, if I can submit this form, so it is automatically database is trying to insert a so empty data. Database can allow to insert a empty data. Okay, so without validating, if we can submit, so many members are there, so they cannot submit anything. So just they can submit the email, then they can add the email and they can submit it. There is no use. We have to capture whatever the required field. So for suppose someone is trying to fill this form. So without they are entering, just they are entering the email field. So then they are submitting. So then how can we contact with them? So using email, so they can have maybe, so if they are giving the valid email or not valid email, so how can we know? So we cannot know. So then, so if we can check the phone number, if we can take the phone number,